Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Aligned Living Circle, where we align our mind, body, and spirit with the seasonal energies. Thank you for coming and adding to the energy of this space. Let's start. Oh, goodness. So, first, today's focus is aligning with lunar flow, and this week's aspect is on spirit, or that liminal aspect, my favorite. So, let's go ahead and get started by setting our intentions. Take a moment to just breathe and get yourself a little relaxed. Do a little stretch if you need to. And take your hand and place it on your stomach. Just focus on that area. Taking a deep breath, activating that space, and let it go. Now place your hands on your chest. Take another deep breath. And one more, hands on your throat. And really focus on this space and breathe in. Let it activate. And with your eyes still closed, just sitting in this peace. Listen to this affirmation. As we are in this circle, we each receive the unique wisdom that we need today. And so it is. All right. So we will dive into our seasonal energies today. Our channeled messages. I'm very excited for this week. I'm not going to lie. This one was super fun. So seasonally, today, as of this meeting, we are just over a week and a few days from Imbolc. And Imbolc is the pagan holiday that celebrates the darkness of winter coming to a close. And we'll start to see the first signs of life returning to nature. It's a really good reason to celebrate. So this week we are wrapping up the final energies of Yule, or the winter solstice, and we're preparing to move into the warmth and the life of spring. Yule, winter, is a time for rest, for going inward and finding stillness. We've talked about that a lot this month. And the purpose of this, for the resting, the stillness, is so that we can reflect on our past. And when we reflect, we gain a better understanding of how to improve moving forward, how to better ourselves. And this past season, has been about embracing darkness and identifying those things within ourselves that we're ready to let go of. Yule is not just about stillness and rest and going inward. It's also about renewal and hope. In the dark part of the year, we rebuild our strength. Just like trees store all of their energy in their roots during the winter so they can prepare for abundant growth in the spring, we also spend time dreaming up the vision of our future and plan steps that we want to take to make it a reality. Imbolc, a good way to put it is Imbolc is the beginning of beginnings. It symbolizes that warmth and new life. And this is when our Yule intentions will start to manifest. Just like the seeds will start sprouting. But in order for us to grow, we have to clear out the old energies. We have to let go of what isn't serving us, just like you have to get the gunk out of your garden before it grows. And so that clearing out, that preparing is our main focus for this week. And so to support us with that, our first ally is Sparrow. And sparrows may be considered a pest nowadays, but they have long been considered a symbol of triumph over struggle. We see this in many places. There's a story of sparrows at the crucifixion of Christ. Sparrow overall is a symbol for those who seem hopeless, overcoming powerful enemies against all odds. In the Middle Ages, Sparrow was a symbol for the peasants of Europe, who were often powerless to the upper class and victims of their cruelty. And these people in the Middle Ages would share stories of Sparrow's victory over like wolves and bears and eagles as a reminder of the hope that they held on to, that even the small guys win. In nature, we can see that sparrows are assertive. They don't hesitate to stand their ground. So this week, Sparrow is reminding us that we are inherently strong. No matter who or what is standing in our way, we have the ability to overcome it. And there is hope, even if we don't see it. On top of that, Sparrow teaches that every mentor, role model, hero that we look up to isn't any better than us. We have just as much skill, just as much dignity, just as much value as all of the people that we put up on pedestals and see as our heroes. So I want to talk about song sparrows specifically for a moment. Song sparrows have 3 dark spots, 2 on the throat and 1 on the chest, and they form an inverted triangle. In mysticism, in magic, inverted triangles represent drawing energy down into our reality like a funnel. It draws down the energy and allows it to manifest. So with Sparrow, this is symbolic of drawing down energy that is activating and awakening our throat and our heart centers. And this means that if we assert our will with intention and inspired action, we can open our hearts to embrace our worth. And then we get to sing it out to the world, claiming our power. Surprisingly, sparrows are really good swimmers. They can swim very quickly and completely underwater. And water is the element of emotions. It's that emotional internal flow. So for us this week, this represents our ability to dive deeply into our emotional depths and to navigate them with skill, with ease. Beyond representing emotions, water has the energy of soothing, calming, nurturing. It heals us with compassion and gives us nourishment to grow. It holds a lot of magic. Our second ally this week is Mugwort. And Mugwort is genuinely one of my favorite allies to work with. It's a very ancient and wise spirit to connect with. And it's related to the moon, intuition, flow, and power. Mugwort's scientific name, which I won't attempt to pronounce, is derived from the Greek goddess Artemis. And Artemis is the goddess of untamed wilderness and wild animals, but also of women and childbirth. And this is a really good representation of Mugwort as balancing the duality of the divine feminine energy, right? Or that receptive energy, teaching us to release our untamed selves without holding back, while also being full of compassion. So with Sparrow's heart and throat activation. We're being guided to speak the truth of who we are, to see all of ourselves, every part of ourselves, not just the socially acceptable, not just what other people want from us. All of our parts have inherent value and dignity. Mugwort is commonly used for cleansing, particularly in the form of smoke. And the magic of mugwort's cleansing is that it simultaneously clears negative energy. It also creates an energetic bubble of heightened intuition and psychic senses, which makes it perfect for cleansing our sacred spaces. Mugwort can be described as creating a direct channel to lunar magic that we can fill our sacred space with. Mugwort has such an intense connection to intuition that many people smoke mugwort as an herbal kind of intuitive opener. It's very powerful magic. Something else about mugwort is it's often called the mother of herbs. And it really is the embodiment of ancestral wisdom. And not just the ancestors of our lineage, I mean the collective ancestors of everyone who walked this earth and their understanding of the magic of nature and natural cycles. Medicinally, mugwort is a nervine. And this means that mugwort relaxes and soothes the body. It relieves tension, right? It helps us to sleep. And when it does, it often gives us very vivid dreams, sometimes with divine messages, which is one of the major reasons I work with mugwort. It has the ability to open channels in the body, right? Our bodies, and it just allows the systems to flow a lot more efficiently. Now, spiritually, mugwort encourages our energetic bodies to flow, to relax into uncomfortable transitions so that we can move into a new and better space and allow good things to flow to us. And it also teaches us that transitions are for our benefit. Growth doesn't happen in comfortability. Comfortability breeds complacency. And when we feel the tension or the fear, remember that release facilitates expansion. When we let go, we call in. It creates an energetic vacuum. We let go and things get drawn to us. And if we're aligned, those things will be aligned as well. And part of the message this week is that the transition you're in now is here because growth is ready to happen. Growth needs to happen. It may be difficult, but we have allies, energies, and skills and communities to support us through it. Now, in theme with the divine feminine, mugwort is ruled by Venus, which means it holds a lot of the properties of love. But with mugwort specifically, we're learning to love ourselves, especially that untamed inner self. And in conjunction with Sparrow, to love the parts of us that feel weak in moments of struggle. And this allows us to awaken that unconditional love of self and to rediscover our dignity. So we're going to move into this week's tools. If you don't have a notebook yet and you want to write down the ritual steps, go ahead and grab yourself a notebook. Yeah, I'll give you a second for that. And grab a drink. So we've talked a lot about lunar. We've talked a lot about water. So that leads us perfectly into a ritual for awakening the throat and heart chakras and to ease into this current transition, to really embrace this change. And I really like this ritual. I write all of these rituals specifically for this group. I've never used a ritual from somewhere else. I always write an entirely new ritual for you guys. It's really good at keeping me up on my skills, and it's really fun. So this was a really, really fun ritual to write and do. The first part of this ritual is making moon water. And if you're not sure what moon water is, it's simply water that's charged under the moon. When we talk about moon water, you're going to most commonly hear of full moon water, but every phase of the moon has really powerful magic for us to tap into. Currently, as we're holding this meeting, we are in a waning moon. And the waning moon is the perfect energy for releasing and cleansing and closing out cycles, which is perfect for moving out of this season and preparing for Imbolc and moving through transition. So first, let's talk about how to collect moon water. You're going to want to, number one, start with your container. You want it to be clear, preferably clear white, clear, a clear container, and you want it to be well cleaned. Glass is ideal, but use what you have, of course. And then step two will be to add your water. And for this, as long as it's clean water, you might want to use spring or distilled water, but tap water is fine too. Then step three is when you're getting ready to charge this moon water, you're going to set your intent. So you'll start by holding your container and really focusing, really honing in on what it is you're calling in. And we will then feel it, right? You feel the energy, that intent. The feeling is a really important part. So as you're holding it, just focus on those feelings. And personally, I like to talk to the water. It doesn't feel concrete until it comes out of my mouth. So I will tell the water, hey, I need you to help me with cleansing and releasing, okay? And I'll put her out. So then step four is you're going to place it under the moon to charge. And you can put your water outside or on a windowsill. Insider tip though, your container doesn't actually have to have direct moonlight hitting it. Like that's not a requirement. You can even charge your moon water under a dark moon or on a completely cloudy night, because we're calling in the energy of the moon, and that's present whether we can see it or not. It's always there. So you'll place your moon water out wherever you have the availability, as long as you're getting that moon energy, and you leave it. And how long you leave it is up to you. You can do a few hours, you can do it overnight. If you do want to do it overnight, make sure you get it in your house or away from the window before the sun comes out, because if you have both, and it's both moon water and sun water, and that's a completely different energy. So pick up your moon water before morning. So once you have created your ritual tool, now it's time to do the ritual. And for the ritual, you'll need that moon water. You will need a bowl. If you have it, some mugwort or mugwort oil. If you don't, that's fine. I got you. You'll also need a small piece of paper and something to write with. Moon water, bowl, herbs if you have it, and piece of paper. And so to do this, you're going to begin with all of your tools ready in a calm and quiet space. Cleansed, ready to go, all the good stuff. Step one, ground and center your energy so that you're aligned with the intention. This is especially important in a spell so focused on releasing and bringing in calm energy. So make sure you're grounded and centered. Then in your space, you're going to pour your moon water into this bowl. You don't need to fill it, just an inch or two of water will be fine. Step number three is, if you have it, add your herbal ally to your bowl. And as you do, ask Mugwort for her properties of gracefully flowing through transitions. and unconditional self-love. And if you don't have any mugwort, you will put your hands over the bowl. You'll focus your energy, really hone in, and you'll just say something along the lines of, I call on the power of mugwort to flow through transitions with self, love, and grace. Because we can always call on energies. It's nice to have the physical correspondence, but we can always call on energies. And that brings us to step number 4, and that is to write your petition. So for this, you want to reflect really on how you want to move through whatever current transition you're going through with confidence or peace or gratitude, whatever resonates with you and what you need right now. And you'll write this on your paper, something along the lines of, I flow into transition with grace, or your personal intent. And you can choose to write the specific transition you're moving through specifically if you want. For my ritual, I wrote, I flow into the transition of moving with confidence, certainty, and groundedness. And it's been helpful. Step number 5, you're going to take that paper you just wrote on and you're going to place it in the bowl of moon water. And as you do, you take some deep breaths, and you'll want to say something along the lines of, all hesitations, doubts, and blockages are now cleansed, cleared, and released. And of course, make that your own, make that whatever feels right to you. Sorry, spirit got loud for a second. Sorry, they was talking. You can do whatever you want. If visualization, if intent is enough for you, I think speaking personally for myself is best, but follow your own personal magic. So once you've put your paper in, you've cleared, the intention here is you're clearing away the blockages, you're bringing in that intent. Step number 6 is visualization. So you're going to close your eyes and watch yourself as if you're watching a movie, moving through this change in exactly the way you want. Just see it play out and really feel the emotions, that intent you're calling in. And when you're done, you've put your bowl of water, you've put your herbs, you've done your paper. Now it's time to dip your fingers. You're going to take your left fingers and dip them into the moon water. You're going to touch them to your neck and take a deep breath. And you'll say something like, I open and activate my voice to speak my authentic truth. Something focused on the voice and speaking your truth. And then you will dip your fingers back into the water and you will touch your chest. And you'll say, I open and activate my heart to love myself through this transition. And this is really calling on those allies that we worked with. I really found this ritual to be very, very helpful, very beautiful. So focusing on that clearing, the activating of the throat to speak your truth, the activating of the heart to love yourself through it. Yeah. And then you have step number 8, which is sit in this energy. Just sit in it for a minute, really enjoy the peace, just indulge in that groundedness. And then you'll finish by expressing your gratitude for the energies and the allies that helped in the ritual, and to yourself. And this is a very simple but very powerful ritual. And there's truly so much more to learn about the moon phases and using moon water and all the properties. Every phase of the moon, every zodiac sign, every hour like has a specific property that you can use to charge your water. And if you're interested in diving into moon water and other ritual liquids to use in your magic, I would love to invite you to join us next month in Modern Mystic Academy for the Power of Potion Craft. You can enroll now and reach out to me with any questions you may have, or just go ahead and sign up. I would love to see you there.